Dishwasher safe, huh?
It is dishwasher safe. Welcome back to Shameful Locks. We're here to talk about NFL Week 14. Um, we're recording here a little bit later in the week. It is a Friday night at 10 p.m. Here on the East Coast. Um, we've got some Thursday night football to recap. Neither of us really want to talk about it. We did not get the film last night like we usually do on Thursdays. Some of us got free tickets to enjoy one of the most depressing games for both of us. Um, Steelers lost to the Patriots. It was depressing. Season's over. I hate this team. Mike Tomlin plays to win.
Yeah, this might be the most down bad I've been as a Steelers fan in the Mike Tomlin era. Losing to, back to back to two and 10 teams.
Yeah.
It's down bad, but I mean, there's still a couple games left, but I don't trust Mitch Trubisky. I don't really trust their defense. So might as well just keep betting. Hopefully we can win some money, make some of the pain go away. So that's what I'm looking forward to right now.
Yeah, and I do have bad news for you. Is the Steelers only need two more wins to cash one of your season-long plays of Steelers over 8.5 wins. What do
That's
you
true.
think? What do you think you give your chances of that cashing right now at the moment? Five
So
games
they,
left, right? Or four.
so four. So we have at Indy, home against Cincinnati, at Seattle, at Baltimore. Um,
Those
I
are
honestly,
all above 500 teams.
I think that they beat Indy next week in Indy.
Okay.
Um, and then I think they beat Baltimore, and then I think they lose the last two. So I think they'll finish 9-8, just like
And I think that's being optimistic too. I think that's definitely looking at the glass half full. But again, we'll only time will tell. Come back and witness how upset or happy we get about that. It's going to be
yep,
great or terrible, probably terrible.
right bad. Yeah,
Steelers
yeah.
are really letting us down right now. But let's stop talking about that. We've got some recapping to do. Week 13, we bet on that. And some of us had some brutal beats again. Me, Blake did pretty well, like he always does. So we'll start with on a hot note here because I'm depressed. So Blake's game pick for last week in week 13 was 49ers minus 2.5. They played the Eagles and they curb stomped the shit out of them like 10 times in a row. All their teeth are gone right on the curb.
Yep.
It was brutal.
It was bad. Yeah, the Eagles lost last week. And to be honest with you, I think they're going to lose again. I think Dallas is probably might be the best team in football along with 49ers. And I think Eagles problems might run a little bit deeper than to the apparent eye. So I think they're in some trouble right now.
Yeah, I think Sunday night's game is going to be a coin flip. I never trust Dallas just because it's Dallas, and
Yeah.
they every year they make us think they're legit, and then they fuck it up. They'll trip over their own feet.
Hmm.
So big game Sunday night, but
Right.
we'll keep going here. Your player prop of the week was Evan Ingram over 42.5 receiving yards. That cashed on a Monday Night Football. It was a little sweaty. I think into the third quarter he only had like 30, and then he ended up finishing with like a game high on the Jags with like 90. Game went to
Yeah.
OT.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game. I was a little nervous there after half, but I mean he just gets so much volume as a tight end. It's so I wasn't really sweating that one, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Well, you were a little bit because it was your make or break because unfortunately you've cooled down on your locks of the week, your shameful locks, or best bets of the week, if you will. You had Adam Thielen over 5.5 receptions. We were just talking about that. I think he only had three, maybe four.
yeah, he had three or four. I mean, it's tough. I mean, the Panthers are just so bad. They're hard to bet, for or on. So
Yeah, 100%. Again, I know it stinks that you've dropped your last two shameful locks, but you did have a winning week yet again. So if you went ahead and tailed all Blake's picks, you went up 0.74 units. So that's good, Blake. You are running up to a solid 24-15 on the year. That's
hell
pretty
yeah,
good. You're
I'll take
up.
that.
Yeah, can't shake your head about that in a negative way. Up 6.99 units. So that must feel pretty good.
Hell yeah,
I
6.9 baby. Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah. I aspire to be like you. Um,
Thanks, man.
yeah. But we'll recap mine for last week. Not great. We'll start with my winner. My game pick of the week was Colts -1, and holy shit, was that sweaty.
Yep.
Um, Colts that I don't again they played the Titans last week, and man, that game was nuts. The Colts blocked 2 punts. Um, they injured the punter. The Titans score go-ahead touchdown, but Ryan Tannehill has to hold the extra point, and he bobbles it, so they miss it. They go to overtime, and then the Colts win in overtime. Crazy game. Colts cover -1. It was a roller coaster of emotions for me. Um, but that was my winner. And then we had, for my game pick, I did Bijan Robinson over 59.5 rushing yards, so 60 rushing yards total against the Jets. And I thought that was going to be an easy win. But then I think he only had like 9 rushing yards at halftime, something really crappy. And I was like, God damn it, dude, this
Yeah.
sucks. But he finished really close again. So screw me. He finished with 53 rushing yards. So
Brutal.
7 yards short. Really frustrating because I know he didn't go out in on the last Falcons offensive possession. They gave it to Tyler Algier. The Bijan got a lot of the touches. It just he couldn't get anything going, and it's really unfortunate. To make it even more unfortunate, my lock of the week was David Montgomery over 62.5 rushing yards. He finished with 56. So again, both of my rushing props last week lost by less than 10 yards total. So that really sucked. Again, really close right there. He just couldn't get much going last week, Monty. But I like the pick. I think he had a good volume. Don't be surprised if I go back to him again this week. Hint, hint, you know.
Yeah, it's a coin flip with those running backs, man. Like I feel like they got their touches for the most part. Bijan needed a few more, but I mean they were right there, just a couple bad beats, honestly, a couple yards away.
Yeah,
But
one good carry for each of them
yeah,
gets it
right.
done, and
Yep.
they were right there.
Mhm.
But real quick, we did go ahead and cash our joint TD parlay last week. We moved to 4-4 on those. We cashed another big one last week. Blake, you went ahead and picked Jerome Ford, who scored on like the first possession of the game. I think he had like a 30-yard receiving touchdown from the old goat Joe Flacco. What a guy! Happy to see him still doing well, but cash Jerome Ford, and then I had Cortland Sutton, who also had he had like a 47-yard touchdown that was a pretty darn good catch too, if I recall,
Oh yeah, yeah.
um, from Russell Wilson. So we cashed a plus 703 ticket. Again, these don't count towards our record, but I'll definitely by the end of the season I'll rack it up and see how much you would have won if you placed all of these. So far, I think we're up because we've cashed a plus 700 ticket and a plus
Yeah.
841 ticket. So that'll take you a long way, even if you lose a few. But like I said, we're
Hmm.
sitting at 4-4 on those. I'm happy with that. I think again, if we can hit it at least 50% of these, I think that's good.
Yeah. Gives you some good walking around money, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, feels good to hit those. Those are always nice.
Yeah, and
So
those are always really hard. Again, we don't count those towards our record, but they're fun. And then if you hit them, you feel really good. And then again, we don't throw a ton of money on them, but if you lose it, damn. But yeah, week 14. Blake, I think I'm gonna start this week. I think I'd like
yeah,
you to go
yeah.
first. All right, so I'll start here with my first pick. I'm going to for my game pick. I'm going to Falcons -1. I got this at -110 on DraftKings this week, and the Falcons are playing at home this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the second time that they have played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first time they won. But if some of you guys have been here for a little bit, watching a few for the last few weeks, I was actually on the side of the Buccaneers in that game, and the Falcons screwed me. So hopefully they can. I'm on the right side this time when I pick this matchup. But the last few weeks I've definitely been going with a lot of really small spreads. Like last week I took Colts -1, and essentially it's just I need the team to win and win by more than one, which it's very rare that a team wins by exactly one in the NFL, just because it's just a really rare thing that happens. But I'm back in the Falcons this week at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think they're a more well-rounded team than the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers offense just really runs through Mike Evans and dumping it down to the running back. Not
Yeah.
saying that the Falcons offense is a lot better, but I think they have a way better offensive line. I think they have a better secondary, a better defensive line overall. I think I'm just going to take the more well-rounded team at home to pull off the season sweep of a team that is not as good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, hopefully the Falcons, if they feed Bijan, I feel like they should be in every single game once they do that. But I mean, like that's a small spread. That's really a coin flip. And it's kind of weird because this point of the season, the sports books are just like so in tune with what's going around the league and what's going on. So it's just hard. It's hard making those picks. But yeah, I think the Falcons pull it off. I don't it's Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's not. So
Yeah, I like I said, I think the biggest worry here is that Arthur Smith does something stupid. So please, Arthur Smith, don't do something dumb. Don't be a moron for
yeah.
1 week, please.
Okay. Moving on to my game pick. I'm going with under 33.5 points for the Jags at Browns game, and I got that at -110 on FanDuel. So as everyone knows, Trevor Lawrence, he's not going to play this week. Christian Kirk, not going to play this week. Browns starting quarterback, Joe Flacco, DTR. I mean, I don't know if there's much of a difference between that besides experience. Um, the Browns offense is not very good. The Jags offense, I'm assuming, won't be very good. Um, the Browns, this was a pretty crazy stat that I heard. The Browns defense gives up 30 points on the road, but at home they only give up around 10 points. So
Wow.
a mix of that, some really crappy weather. It's like rain, wind, maybe some snow possible there. Um, I just don't see them putting up over 33.5 points. I don't think it's possible. So yeah, that's my game pick and I'm sticking to it. So
I like that. I think it's going to be a classic Cleveland game. It's going to be like a 13-9 game probably.
yeah, they'll
Um,
win.
I did read today that the Jags have actually not ruled out Trevor Lawrence to play in that game. But we all watch Monday Night Football. I mean, that dude could not put any weight on it. I think it would be a miracle for him to play,
Hmm.
and I think it'd be borderline reckless to throw him in,
Yeah.
especially versus a defensive line like that when you know he's kind of probably being held up by some athletic tape. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I don't think yeah, if he did play in that game, like you said, there's no way. There's no way he'd last. Like he'd probably get killed. Just like most QBs do when they play in Cleveland, just because they're so much better at home.
They really are. That is a crazy stat you had there. 30
Yeah.
points on the road, but 10 at home. That's
I mean,
insane.
yeah. I mean, think about it, even last week they gave a pound 36 to the Rams in LA.
Hmm.
And then like all the home games, like they gave what 10 to the Niners, 10 to the Steelers or something like that. So
Yeah, it's wild. That's crazy. All right, I'll run ahead and go ahead and give up my player prop of the week, and I think this is going to be my last ditch, my last hope here for this guy here. I'm running to Justin Fields again. I'm still a believer. I know. But I'm going to Justin Fields over 259.5 passing plus rushing. So the you take his passing yards plus his rushing yard and get the total. I got this for -110, bet 365. Um, I'm gonna ride and die with this ship. I'm gonna fall on it. But I like the matchup this week. The Bears are playing the Lions at home in Chicago, and I like I said, I just really like the matchup. Fields, the last 3 times he's played the Lions, he runs all over the Lions. He's had 100+ rushing yards in his last 3 games against the Lions. Let me read you some stats here. So, uh, 2 weeks ago, 13 rushes, 18 rushes, 104 yards. Then he had last season 10 rushes, 132 yards rushing, and then 13 carries, 147 rushing yards.
oh
That's not
wow.
even including his passing yards, which that's not as high as you would think it would be.
Hmm.
But he's crushing them on the ground, and I think now that he has a number one wide receiver, I think his passing game is only going to get better than it statistically has been.
Hmm.
Um, he has only cleared this line in his last two of his last 3 times he played the Lions, but it was pretty close. That time he did miss. Like I said, 2 weeks ago he played the Lions. He had over 300 passing plus rushing yards. Again, he's got DJ Moore out there. He's going to target him 20 times like he does. Uh, Seems to be his go-to thing. And I think Fields has a lot to prove in these last few weeks. Unless the Bears run the table, he's probably going to be on a different team next year. So
Yeah.
he's kind of got to treat this like an audition to a team maybe like Atlanta or Seattle next year to be like, hey, I've got a lot to prove. Trade for me or
Hmm.
something in that regards. But again, I love the matchup this week, and he's had a lot of success against the Lions. Look for Fields to keep torching the Lions. Pretty meh defense.
Yeah. So I just pulled up FanDuel and his rushing prop is at 62.5, which is pretty unreal for a quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of going to tell you what type of game he's going to have. But yeah, I like that game. I took his over in yards a couple weeks ago and it hit. And he's my fantasy quarterback, so I kind of need him to go off, which I think he can because I do think he plays better at home compared to on the road. So yeah, I'm looking for him to have a day. So I like it.
Yep. I'm sinking with ship, or we're staying afloat. Probably
Mhm.
sinking, but ride or die definition.
Love it. All right, so this pick I was gonna make it my lock, but I haven't made a pick like this all year, so I'm a little nervous about it. But I feel like it might be my favorite pick I've had all year. Um, so I'm taking Tony Pollard under 58 and a half rush yards, and I got that at minus 115 on DraftKings. So as we know, the Cowboys offense is buzzing, but they are a pass first team. That's just their DNA. Dak Prescott's going to sling the ball. Um, I think that the Eagles got a little embarrassed last week by that 49ers offense, so I think they um, might tighten up against the run a little bit since that is kind of what their defense is known for. Yeah, and I think Dak will be able to pass the ball a lot on them. Very susceptible to the pass because their corners aren't very good. They don't really have any good safeties that are really big threats in stopping the pass. Um, but Tony Pollard has played the Eagles 8 times, and he's only gone over that 58 and a half rush yards mark one time in his whole career. So I don't know. I love this. I love this bet. I was going to make it my lock, but I decided not to since I've never done an under rushing yards prop before. So, but yeah, I think Cowboys win this game in the long run. So, but that's it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I like it too because Tony Pollard he was really good when he was the number two, but as the number one in Dallas,
Yeah.
he just does not look the same. And I know he's coming off a pretty bad injury at the end of last year,
Hmm.
but he just he just is not rushing like he used to.
Yeah.
And I know we both kind of feel the same way on unders. I like them in hypothetical, but like I feel like
Hmm.
every time one of us takes an under, knock on wood here, we just get kind of screwed and it
Yeah.
sucks. But I mean, this one just makes too much sense. We're so great defensive line like the Eagles.
Right.
It makes sense.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like it.
Thanks.
All right. I will go ahead. It is shameful lock time. This is our best bet of the week. Right now, the current standings are 1 second to pull them up. Blake, you were sitting at a cool 7-2. I know you've gotten cold, but you did win. You started off the year 7-0. I am currently sitting at 5-4. So I need to keep. I need to win this week. I need to make sure I keep that above 500 record going, and I think I got a good one for you guys this week. I'm also
Yep.
taking a plus money bet this time around. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm down 4.81 units on the year, and I need to catch up. Blake's making me look really crappy, man. So I'm taking a good one here, in my opinion. Um, I'm going to a same game parlay here, a little two-legger here. I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs, 35 plus rushing yards, and David Montgomery or Monty, 53 plus rushing yards. And I know that sounds really weird, but I got this for plus 143 on ESPN bet. 52 and a half was the lowest I could go on Monty. And they're the only books giving an alt line on Montgomery on any book right now, which is really weird. Probably means it's probably going to do well. But I hope.
The
Um,
signs.
yeah, it's the signs. Shout out Jersey Jerry. Um, but yeah, I'll start with Jahmyr Gibbs. So Jahmyr Gibbs has rushed for at least 35 rushing yards in 11 of 12 games this year. I think he's done that in 9 straight now, which is pretty good. I like that odd. So he's definitely the lesser of the leg here. The big one is definitely going to be David Montgomery. But Monty, Monty has cleared 53 plus rushing yards in all 8 games he started and finished this year. And he's cleared them by a good amount. His lowest he had was, of course, last week when I needed him to get 63. He got 56. Um,
Classic.
Yeah, classic. But I haven't lost faith in him. I believe in Monty, and I think he's going to come out against the Bears this week and hopefully run for at least 53 yards specifically. Um, it's in Chicago. It's probably going to be a little cold, a little windy. Chicago kind of weather. I think the Lions are going to try to ground pound it. Goff has been struggling a little bit lately. So
Yeah.
I love this little two-legger here, and let's run the ball this week, Lions.
Yeah, those dual-headed running backs. I love those parlays. Like last week or the week before that, I know we did this together. This was off the show, but we did like Jalen Warren and Najee to both have like 40 plus rush yards. So
Rushing.
yeah. So yeah, I've started to like these little like parlays a lot. So I might actually put a wager on this. I probably will. But yeah, I love it. So
Thank you. And I need a big win here. I need to start catching up on some ground here. My goal is to finish at least like up a few units on the year. That way, I wasn't
yeah,
just wasting my time out here.
yeah. All right. So for my lock, I've lost two in a row after starting 7-0. So I gotta be better. I gotta put this one in the W column. So I'm gonna go Alvin Kamara over 98.5 rushing plus receiving yards. And I got that at -114 on FanDuel. So first off, they're playing the Panthers, and the Panthers are absolutely brutal, brutal defense. They give up a ton of yards to running backs. I think they give up the second most rush yards, and then they're like top 10 for receiving yards to running backs. And I don't know if any of you guys have really watched the Saints, just because they're usually not on TV, but that offense lives through Alvin Kamara. I mean, passing, check downs, rushing, like they live through him. That's how their offense goes. Um, so he's gone over this mark in 5 of 9 games this year and twice in a row. So he's definitely rolling hot right now. And the Saints usually give him the ball 20 plus times a game. I mean, earlier in the season, there were times he was getting it close to 30 times a game. So I mean, he's gonna get his touches. It just really depends if he's gonna break one or two and hopefully get over 100 yards for the game. So that's my lock.
Yeah, I've been down that path, Blake. I think I took that exact bet back in week 9.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, didn't. I hope you have better success than I did. I think the data definitely backs it up. Kamara gets a lot of touches from the ground and catches. Just unfortunately, it didn't go well for me that week.
Do you remember who they played?
No, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, I like the pick. Like I said, I hope you have better luck than I did trying that one out. We need some winners here, and I feel pretty good about it. But before we go here, we do have our joint TD parlay of the week. Like I said, we're 4-4 on these in the week on the year, and we cashed a big one, a plus 703 last week. Blake, I'll let you start on this one this week.
All right. So you guys know my method for this. I just kind of scroll through and say, hey, that guy's due for a touchdown, or I like that guy. So going Devontae Adams on the Raiders, like the guy's just due. He's kind of had an underwhelming year just with the team around him and the quarterback situation. So he's gonna get a touchdown this weekend. It's gonna happen. So
Nice, I like that, and that was about 165 on a few different books. But we'll tell you the joint odds here at the end for the two guys we picked. And for me, I'm going to happy Devontae Smith plays the Cowboys week. Devontae Smith owns the Cowboys. He has scored 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games he's played against the Cowboys, including touchdowns in his last 3 games against them. I actually rolled with Devontae Smith a few weeks ago for a big, I think it was 5 weeks ago for a joint TD parlay against the Cowboys, and it cashed. That was the biggest one of the year when we cashed a plus 841. But I'm going to Devontae Smith this week. If you parlay Devontae Smith with Devontae Adams both to score a touchdown, you can get this as high as plus 655 at ESPN bet. And I actually might just take Devontae Smith because I'm obviously going to place the parlay, but I think I'm going to put money on Devontae Smith to score an anytime touchdown by itself. I think it's around 180, 190. I
oh
love it
wow.
this week.
Yeah, we got the Devontae squared TD parlay. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. That's just how you know. So
Hey, come on, Devontae's. Don't let us down.
hell yeah.
But I think that'll wrap us up for this week. If you guys have any comments, want to let us know what you think, or have any bets you want us to talk about later on, go ahead and comment down at the bottom. Just let us know what you think. Hopefully we do well this week. Blake's been hot recently. Can't lose. Knocking on that wood. But I need to get on that some of that juice there.
Oh yeah, I just hey keep going for it. The juice will come. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm all about that juice. That'll wrap us up. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.
Peace.